This is Hammer and Cavazangian Farms, and it is a Wisconsin crop farm. We started growing some pollinator habitat 5 years ago, and we did it because we have areas of our field that aren't very productive. Obviously, we want to farm as much as we can, but we also have that philosophy that we need to farm the good land really well. And if there's some marginal land that really doesn't support a crop, we want to improve it, and we want to do the right thing by it. So one of the great things we did was a grant that the Sand County Foundation gave to our local FFA to grow out prairie plants in their greenhouse, and then they came here and helped transplant them in a little wasteland that we have back here by our shed. It's about an acre, and it's beautiful, and it's been so neat. We had a couple busloads of students out 2 years ago, and it was a good experience for them to come here and see our farm, to plant the seeds, to take ownership, and it was a great experience for us to have them out here.
A lot of students don't have the ability to even talk to farmers today, so working directly with a farmer would be an excellent opportunity for them to meet farmers, get past some of the stereotypes they might have of the farmer, and then also they're working with their hands. Sand County was really good in getting some information out before virtual meetings were a thing. We had a virtual meeting that would explain what we should do. They had some handouts to prepare us for the plants, and they supplied us with all the resources we need. There was no cost involved in that. And the plants arrived early to mid-March. The students transplanted them, we identified them, and then we cared for them. And while we were caring for them, sprinkled throughout the few months we had the plants in our possession, we talked about pollinators and non-native species and just everything that would go along with what we were doing. And then just before school let out in 2019, I had some upper level classes come out and stake off where they would go, make sure they're far enough apart and lay out the plot and make sure it was prepared. And then my freshman class, came out the last couple days of school, and then we planted those plants that we got from Sand County. The grant provided everything we needed as far as supplies. We were able to even afford to take a bus out to the farm with the grant money they gave. In this day and age, when budgets are tight, it really goes a long way to get that grant to help with this unit.
My interest for the grant program started a couple of years ago when one of my teacher friends from college also applied and started getting into this, and they had nothing but good things to say about it. It is something that would add so much value to the curriculum for the students to come in and learn a bunch of hands-on skills that they could use in a variety of careers or just their life in general, and planting things around their home, around their workspaces, wherever they might do it. But I think the biggest thing was the learning outcomes for the students. We run 3 plant science courses here at Lodi High School. Specifically, our greenhouse management and our landscaping class are the ones that are working hard at it. The greenhouse management class really prepared our soil and our potting mixtures for use for the landscape students to come and upsize, and then the landscape students, of course, are going to go out on the landscape and install all of the plants. We're going to install these plants in 2 sites. The first one, we're going to go to our local community center / food bank, and they've got a community garden in the back, and they've been looking to put a strip of pollinator plants in to help with the community garden, and so that just a bunch of people from the community are really going to benefit from this and get to eat some of the produce that is pollinated from the pollinators that are attracted by our plants. So that'll be really exciting.
I took this landscaping class because my dad owns a landscaping company, and I wanted to know about the business a little more in case I take over. This is the very first time I personally worked with native plants, and it's a fun experience.
I have a really good teacher that loves helping us, and it's fun to do hands-on work. We learn about everything about plants. We want to learn how to identify them and what their purpose is and why they're here.
My advice to teachers who might want to take part of this program is do it. And the students get a lot of benefit out of it. That is the key here, is that it's a unique project that your students are going to learn a lot from. It's going to be learning that they're going to take with them and be able to utilize throughout their lives.